Team, as of the recording of this video, we are currently at 914 subs. If we can get to 1,000 subs by next Saturday, so in the next week, I will do a bonus giveaway in addition to the 2 Black Series Hondo Anakas that I'm giving away at 1,000 subs. If we can get there. According to my YouTube analytics, 40% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, and let's do it. But that out of the way, today we're talking about the Death Watch Mandalorian. This is 6 Scale Economist. Let's jump right into it. What is going on? Welcome to another video. This is 6 Scale Economist. In today's video, we're talking about the Death Watch Mandalorian announced for New York Comic Con. As always, first we're going to talk about this figure from a collection perspective, and then we're going to talk about it from an investment perspective. So obviously, this was like the big marquee thing that was going to be announced for New York Comic Con. You know, they teased it on Monday that they were going to have a special announcement coming, and so, or on Tuesday rather, and we were excited for it. You know, it's very, very cool. It's alluding to the issue that I highlighted in one of my recent videos where I said, as Clone Wars and Mandalorian continues to ramp up, these figures that would have been amazing 2 years ago are just starting to seem like a little bit of a letdown. But with that being said, let's just talk about this figure first. As always, talking about it from a collection perspective. Look, it's really, really cool, right? It's a Mandalorian. It's a Mandalorian from Mandalore, part of Death Watch. For everybody that's watched Clone Wars, then you'd probably be very familiar with what Death Watch was. It's basically just like the group of Mandalorians that run Mandalore. And then obviously in the Mandalorian, this guy is from the flashback scene where he's shown saving the Mandalorian when he was a kid. And so it's obviously a very cool scene in the movie. It was really cool in the show. It was really cool to see these guys. The figure itself, as a collector's perspective, look, it's really sick. It looks great. And I understand that this is how Mandalorians looked, but I just look at this figure and all I can see is a repainted Boba Fett. It's a Boba Fett helmet, repainted Boba Fett helmet with the Mandalorian armor and body fit. I don't know why. Maybe it's just stuck in my head. I don't know why it is. I just look at this figure and I just see Boba Fett, and it's tough for me to get that out of my mind. And it's nothing to their fault. I don't know if they couldn't really have done anything about that. That is the helmet that Mandalorians have. But it reminds me of the animated Boba Fett, just another color version of Boba Fett. With that being said, it's still sick, and it's a Mandalorian. It's from Death Watch, and that's cool. Also, shout out to the teaser images that we got, getting this super battle droid, and I think we got a standard battle droid too in these pictures. Maybe we didn't. Actually, no, we didn't. Just a super battle droid, but that's pretty sick. Hot Toys is known for teasing things that come out. They teased Clone Wars Darth Maul, and then we got him. So who knows? Maybe they are working on a battle droid. Seems like a lot of people actually really want these battle droids and everything to go with their clones. Maybe I'm alone on this. I don't really care. I don't really need droids or anything. I'm perfectly fine just having my clones just kind of standing there. They don't really need to be fighting battle droids per se. But I guess we'll see when we actually get the announcement. It'll be interesting to see, but it seems like a lot of people are excited about these droids. But talking about this Mandalorian figure, again, if this figure had come out 2 years ago, people would be losing their mind over it. People would absolutely love it. It comes out now. People are still really excited for it, and it seems like a lot of people are picking this up and seeing a lot of people actually day one pre-ordering this. But I also see a lot of people passing on this figure. I think that people were let down that this was the marquee announcement from New York Comic Con. I know a lot of people wanted Moff Gideon or Cara Dune or potentially another clone or another clone commander like Fox or Wolf or Wolf Pack Trooper. A lot of people are actually speculating that it was going to be from the Clone Wars, but it was pretty obvious that it was going to be a Mandalorian release. I don't know if anybody caught this, but in the first live stream that they had on Tuesday, I forget the guy's name, but the guy at the beginning said, he was we have a lot of things to talk about and for this show, even a brand new Mandalorian figure. I don't know if people really caught that on, but he hinted that it was going to be a Mandalorian figure. So I wasn't surprised when we saw a Mandalorian figure, but I am surprised that we got this. And not a trademark release, something brand new, a Moff Gideon that's brand new sculpt, brand new figure, everything, rather than just this, which is basically just a repaint and rehash. So that's it from a collection perspective. Look, I like it. I'm not positive that I'm picking it up. Knowing me, I'm probably going to pick this figure up. It's figures like this that come out though that make me even less inclined to pick up figures like the Remnant Trooper. I ordered 2 of the Remnant Trooper, and that's probably one of the ones I regret ordering the most as of recently. But it's figures like that, like the Remnant Trooper, that like, if you're buying the Remnant Trooper, like, you should probably be buying this figure. And if you're not buying the Remnant Trooper, maybe you're not buying this one, but, like, that's what I'm talking about with this dynamic that's starting. We're getting these Mandalorian figures, we're getting these clone figures, and it's not stopping, and it's going to be more and more figures like this, where, like, 2 years ago, you would have definitely been picking up this figure, no question, and now you kind of have to, like, take a step back and think, like, do I need this figure? We have all these Clone Wars figures coming. I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford all of these clones and all these clone commanders and then the Jedi and then, like, Mandalorian figures on top of it, like, these very, like, tertiary characters and these, like, that was just in a few scenes, like, do I really need this? But it is like a Mandalorian, it looks sick, and it's like a Boba Fett-esque person. So, talking about it from an investment perspective, look, the investment perspective equation for a lot of these releases now coming out is going to get a lot more trickier. Like, again, in a normal time period, this would definitely be a buy, and from an investment perspective, you would have done great. Again, it's Mandalorian, so I think that things like these don't really have a floor. Like, you're not going to lose money on this figure, but, like, animated Boba Fett came out for $235, and that figure was like a $450 figure. That's what could happen before, when you would have, for every 5 Star Wars announcements that we get, one of them maybe is one that you'd want to pick up. Whereas now we're like every 5 announcements you get, like 3 to 4 you want to pick up. So it makes it harder for figures like this that aren't like trademark, key, very important figures to outperform. With that being said, it has its upside. I think one of the big upsides for this figure are some of the counter, the companion pieces that can come out with it. Pre-Vizsla is a huge one that sticks out to me, and shout out to Chris Letty for bringing this up. We were talking about this earlier today, and he wrote like a very good point. It doesn't look like we're going to get Pre-Vizsla maybe anytime soon, because it seems like they're sticking to Season 7 for Clone Wars, but this would be a great figure to post next to Pre-Vizsla. And for those of you guys who don't know Pre-Vizsla, who didn't watch the Clone Wars, Pre-Vizsla is basically like the leader of Death Watch, in the Clone Wars show, and it's like this guy, and he was like the original wielder of the Darksaber, and he's a super like badass, and this is how he looks like with his helmet on. And so, like, while this is cool because it's from The Mandalorian, it's really like it's a flashback, and it's a flashback to Death Watch, which is a flashback to the Clone Wars era, which is where you originally see these Mandalorians of Mandalore, and they're led by Pre-Vizsla, which is really, really cool. So if we were to see a Pre-Vizsla, that would be really supportive for this figure, and I would imagine that would make people go and want to have at least 2 of these to flank Pre-Vizsla. But with that being said, they're clearly focusing on Season 7, and spoiler alert, Pre-Vizsla was not in Season 7, so I just don't know if that's a figure that's going to come out. So, but that is a lot of upside for the figure. Also, just posing this one next to the Mandalorian, or like, having a display of like the Mandalorian with the heavy infantry Mandalorian, maybe 2 of these guys flanking him, I think would also be pretty sick. But it's not a figure that just screams to me as an absolutely great investment. Like, it's not one that people really feel like they need to army build. And like, if you put this next to a 501st Clone Trooper, as cool as this is, I'm taking the 501st Clone Trooper, and I imagine a lot of other people are. And I'm taking 2 of the 501st Clone Trooper before I pick up one of these. So I think all in all, I like it from a collection perspective. I like it from an investment perspective. I don't love it from both sides of it. Am I going to pick up this figure? I'm probably going to pick up this figure. It's not one that I'm just recommending to everybody. I think it's kind of one-off and like doesn't really have a fit in your Mandalorian display just yet. But who knows? Like, if we see more of him, in Season 2, and that's something that's more prominent, that could also be very supportive figure. So, like, obviously you have a lot of time. When is this figure even coming out? October 2020, December 21. So you have like a year to figure it out. Maybe let's just sit tight, watch Mandalorian Season 2, see if we see him more there, see if it's something, that you actually really want to pick up. But it's not one that just screams to me as a buy. Yeah. But these are only my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you guys happy that this was the announcement for New York Comic Con? Are you guys a bit disappointed that it happened for New York Comic Con? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 1,000 subs. Let's push it. I know we can do it. 1,000 subs, 1 week. Let's do it. This is Economist. As always, buy the dip, sell the rip. This is the way. We will see you in the next video.